And you're listening to News Talk 1340 WJRW, John Gonzalez, MLive.com, the Grand Rapids Press, and the Going Gonzo radio show weekdays at 1 o'clock on this fabulous radio station, right? Today, a little earlier today, I spent some time at Riverside Canoe Trips in the Frankfort area, Benzie County, and I'm going to take you there right now. Judy, can you get it all worked up there? Thank you, our producer. And I'm with Kyle Orr and his beautiful wife, Kelly. It's a beautiful day here at Riverside. How you been?
Very, very well. Very well.
I can tell. The last time I was here, it was busy, and I think as we're heading into the 4th of July, it'll get even busier, right?
It only gets busier from this point on, yep. For about the next 6-7 weeks, we're hoping the weather holds true for us and people can get down this river. A
beautiful sunny day. And I think when I talked to you earlier, you, if you want to come, like, you just kind of have a nice serene trip, you said early in the day and kind of later in the evening. Is that kind of the way to go?
Right, absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you want to see the critters, we always recommend people to come before 10 o'clock in the morning, or we open right up at 8 o'clock, so we can have you on the water as early as 8:30. Or our later trips, we can put people out as late as 7 o'clock at night, and that's really a nice, quiet time, and then you can even finish up and catch a sunset at the end of the trip.
Fantastic. Kyle Orr here, Riverside. And can you give me the little history of this place? I mean, it looks like it's been here for a couple of years.
It has. There originally was three liveries on the river, and there's a whole other story, but the national park, we're inside the national park. We are the only livery left. We've just owned this business for the last 3 years. The previous owners, Tom and Kathy Stockland, they had it for 39. This actually is my 20th year. I worked for them for 17.
Wow.
My wife worked for them for about 10. So there's a lot of history. This business has seen a lot, but it survived a couple of claims from the Park Service to try and shut us down, but we're still here, and we're going.
Well, a lot of people know when they come up here and they vacation and they go on the different canoe trips or the kayaking or tubing down the river, the Platte River here. It's part of their family history, and I see you have your family here with you as well, right?
That's right. Yep. Our kids, we have one 11 and 9, and they come in and they help work as much as they can, and hopefully down the road we'll get them in here a little more. So, but we do. I mean, people try and. What's nice is when they come up for their week's vacation, usually a float down the Platte is on their itinerary.
Yeah, when we asked the readers of MLive.com, tell us what to do in Benzie County, everyone mentions, you got to go down the Platte River,
Right.
So it's definitely a thing to do. Kelly, when you started working here, what was it like back then?
A lot slower.
Really?
It was, yes.
It just you mean just in general, the amount of people that would come up to the area?
Yeah, the pace has really picked up quite a bit. I think that the Good Morning America thing also has helped.
By that you mean
the last couple of years, the voting.
The voting for this area.
Most beautiful place, yes.
In America,
That's
right?
helped a little bit, yep. And I think, back when I started or when I was getting ready to start working here, we still had one more livery across the street.
Oh, okay.
So there was some competition.
Yeah.
And people just didn't know about the area as much as they do now, and they come and visit more.
Yeah, and so the pace is picked up. What kind of groups do you deal with? Because when I was here last week, I saw a lot of young kids, like almost like a church group, a lot of vacationers up here.
We have all different kinds of groups. We start, just with the basic family, and we can handle quite a lot.
Yeah.
100 canoes, you want to go down? We're game.
Kyle, have you had any weird requests like that from people that call in and say, hey, we're going to bring in a group of 50?
Oh yeah. Yeah, in fact, actually, we have a couple of church groups during the summer that they show up and they'll have 45, 50 canoes, and then another 50 or 60 of them they'll want to go tubing. We have several options for the people to do. So some will canoe, some will tube, but we try to be able to accommodate just about any size group that you have.
All right, now I think I told you this last time. I'm a novice. I think I should be embarrassed to say that, being from Michigan, born and raised here.
Yeah, I've heard that if you've never kayaked in northern Michigan, then you shouldn't be living in Michigan.
Yeah, so
we'll take care of that today.
All right, so I've got to take care of that today. I'm going to get my inauguration here. All right, I'm not a big fan of water, which also sounds weird, being born and raised and loving Michigan as much as I do.
Right.
I love the water. It's beautiful. Look at it. It's so serene right now, and I love Lake Michigan. But I'm just not a swimmer, you know? I just don't just dive in and cannonball it. So, what are some of, I mean, do you have people like that come out here that are like first-timers, never done it before?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's a great question, and I think that's what makes the Platte River so special as far as rivers go. You know what I always say, this is probably the most kid-friendly river you can have. The river is crystal clear. You can see the bottom.
Yeah.
So there's no surprises for the kids. You know, they don't have to guess what's underneath them. It's a nice, firm bottom. And the river, typically, the average depth is 2 to 3 feet deep. Okay. There's going to be a couple spots over your head. But for the most part, you know, you can get right out of the boat, and you can walk to shore if you have to.
Wow.
Now, we do have Loon Lake, which, you know, I suppose that can be a bugger for some people on some days if we get a southwest wind.
Sure.
But even that in itself, it's, you know, you have this experience where you get to the river, you get to go through the small lake, and you're really only in the lake for, maybe 15 minutes at the most.
Okay. So I'm a little nervous, but okay.
We're gonna stay right to that right-hand shoreline. We're gonna keep in shallow water.
Okay.
And it's really a nice trip across that lake. And then, you know, the ending point of this river is you're down at Lake Michigan at Platte River Point. You have Lake Michigan in front of you. You have the dunes to your north. You see the Manitou Islands. The kids can, you know, after they turn their equipment in, the kids can just hop in the river. The current picks up as it goes into Lake Michigan. They can ride that warm water right out into Lake Michigan. They always call it the campers come in, it's great. They call it the warm cold trip because they're in that warm water and then they hit that cold water of Lake Michigan. And it's a sandbar right there, so they just jump right up, run back up the river, and they're doing it again. And that's just a constant for them. They love doing that.
I guess I never even thought of that. Of course, the river being, you know, shallow, it's going to heat up, right?
Right.
Quickly.
Right.
And then you get to the Lake Michigan, and it's going to be cold.
And it's cold, yep. No, the river, you know, when we get a good hot summer, we always say it's bathwater. I mean, it's easily probably 75 degrees or warmer.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Now I noticed some life jackets. Do I have to wear one of those, or what are the requirements?
Well, at Riverside Canoes, our requirements are this: anybody 8 and under, we do require them to wear a life jacket, no matter what they're doing.
All right.
Beyond that, if you're a swimmer, you really by the law only need a seat cushion, a throwable.
Okay.
So people have a choice of either a cushion or a life jacket. We have some other age for kayaks and such, but the general rule is if you can swim and you're an adult, you have your choice of either a cushion or a life jacket.
Okay, can I ask for 2 double life jackets for myself?
we can make you act just like a bobber when you're out there, so no problem.
I want to look like a Michelin man.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, just like pad me up with everything.
Yeah, you'll be just fine.
I don't want to sink at all. Hey, anything else that you want to add? I mean, it looks like you have everything well marked here. When you're right off the main road here, right?
Right. Yep, we're right on M22. We're halfway between Frankfort and Empire. We're at the south end of the Sleeping Bear Dunes National Lakeshore. We're right across the street from the Platte River Campground. So
that's it's easy to find. It's right off the road here. Hey, Kelly, one thing I did want to ask you is I also noticed when I was in the shop, it's more than just walk in here and get in your kayak and go down the river. You also have ice cream. You have other things like a gift shop and things. So it's a good experience. I know a lot of campers come over here in the evening, right?
They do. We have all kinds of things for campers. If you're out of a tent, we have a tent.
Really?
If you need, a sleeping bag, we try to carry a little bit of everything because people come in. I mean, if you need nails, we have nails. So we're really a general store that provides ice cream. We have our hamburgers, hot dog stand that if people are hungry. We actually even make our own sandwiches.
Really?
So that people can just grab and go if they want something quickly down the river to eat with them.
So you're really thinking of the full service. You're thinking of the needs of what people come here for.
Yep, and of course we have the souvenirs that go with them on the way home.
I saw those. I'm fine with that too. Anything else that you want to add about just being out here and what you want people to know when they come out here at Riverside?
It really is a family experience. I grew up coming here. My mother used to come up, as a child, and she started bringing us up. We did the whole camping experience, so I'm real familiar with it, and I have great child memories from doing that as well. So I think for people who come, I think it makes, it's one of those things that you remember. You're not going to remember going to a movie for 2 hours. It's a trip that you're going to remember. So if you're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things. We have families actually that are coming up this weekend, and they get a group of them together, and they go over to the Platte River campground, and they go down the river every year. And I know they're excited. They're already talking about how they're gearing up for their weekend.
Oh, that's great.
So it's one of those things that I think people come back year after year and do, and it's exciting for them.
Well, Kyle, I think we're ready, right? Because
We're ready.
I know I can start seeing people show up already, and it's going to be a busy day for you here at Riverside. So, any words of advice for me?
Just hang on when we're going over that waterfall, all right?
My
That's
God.
all we got to do.
All right. We're going to come back here in a few minutes. After the trip's over, I'll let you know how things went. Make sure to keep it here on News Talk 1340 WJRW.